Anyway, so back to the topic, right? Again, just to repeat the steps, like what to do when your child is aggressive. You know, calm down, calm the child down, remove them from the situation. Tell them, hands are for cuddling. I wouldn't use the negatives, I would use the positives so that the child understands it. Think about what's behind the behavior. Do not address the behavior immediately in the situation, but the need that's behind the behavior. Give them a break, give them some food, or address consistently and proactively the any type of anxiety that could be hiding behind the behavior. Give them the tools to handle their own emotions. Teach them about the emotions. Tell them if they're not really, if the emotion behind the anger, if the triggering emotion is something else like fear, tell them you're worried that this is going to happen, or tell them you're being a bit overwhelmed, so that they know what they're feeling, except for the anger, or besides the anger. Because remember, the kid is not the bad guy. Do not punish the child, because it's not going to help the situation. It's not going to relieve the kid's stress. It's going to add on to it, and it's going to make the behavior worse. So do not punish the kid. Tell them the behavior is not okay. Tell them this is the right thing to do, but do not punish them, because they can't help it. Okay, if they're being aggressive, they're doing it because it's the last resort. It's the only way they know how to communicate whatever trait they were trying to communicate before, because they probably were trying to communicate it before, but we didn't pick up on it, either because they're not verbal, or maybe we were too busy, or don't punish them for expressing their emotions, because it's a natural thing to do. It's like punishing someone for being hungry. So, and the last thing is, practice the appropriate expression of the emotions in a calm environment, right? And when you don't have a problem, but you're having a nice time with your kid, you're playing together or something, he's quite happy, you can always practice through play the appropriate reaction, When you're, for example, I used to tell my kids, when you're angry, say I'm angry, if they're verbal. If they're not verbal yet, you can teach them to stomp their feet, or to, hit the cushion. Whatever is okay with you, okay? If it's okay with you that the kids stamp their feet, tell them if you're angry, stamp their feet, and model it, through play. Take little stuffed animals and go, "Ooh, I'm a bunny, I'm so angry, I'm going to stamp my feet," right? And you stamp the feet, or you do it together. You go like funny, laughingly say, "Oh, you just ran away from me, I'm so angry, I'm going to stamp my feet," and you stamp your feet so that the child sees that when you're angry, you do that, right? And of course, you model the expression of the emotions verbally, so they know what to call the emotion, what to say to the other person when they want to communicate the emotion, because that empowers them and that helps them deal with it, right? Once you name the enemy, you're less afraid of it, right?
Yeah.
You've got certain power over it, so it empowers just the fact that they know what they're feeling empowers them to deal with the emotion in a different manner. Giving them tools appropriately and in a manner that doesn't harm themselves or anybody else.
This was the Practical Parenting Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back with more of the same, and maybe something a little bit different.